ceasefire has begun work. They're beginning to lay cable, and so we're going to let them do their presentation, and then you can ask questions when they get through.
Sure. Yeah, so we'll make this quick. Basically, just want to give you guys an update on where we're at as far as timelines are concerned for ceasefire fiber. So I'm sure you're all aware, the construction has begun. You'll see, some, I guess, big boring machines that'll be out there, some big trucks. It look like we're making a right mess of things. I mean, they'll just look absolutely awful. But I can promise you, once we're done with the whole process, it'll look like we haven't even been there. My first experience was, wow, I'm not going to have a job for long. This looks terrible. And then about 3 weeks later, it looked like we had never been there. It looked great. If you have any kind of issues with your yard, with us, messing up your yard or not putting it in a like or better condition than it was, you can reach out to us. We'll repair it and re-landscape it at no cost to you guys. So we'll handle all of that. Regarding the actual timelines, the timelines are changeable. It does depend on weather. So usually for about every day that it rains pretty hard, we usually do give it anywhere from 2 to 3 days to dry out before you'll see us get back in there and start construction again. Anytime that there are power lines that are snipped, gas lines that have been mismarked, water mains that have been mismarked, if those are hit, that's going to kind of hinder construction as well. Our date for first installs and for first turn-ups are going to be May 15th. That is factoring in some weather, that is factoring in, some utilities, getting severed, because it unfortunately is part of the business. People do mismark lines all the time. So that all factors in. If we do have a run of bad luck where it just rains for weeks and weeks and weeks and just doesn't seem like it's ever going to stop, then that timeline may fall back. But if we run into a string of really solid weather where there's not hardly any rain at all, that timeline could also bump up a couple of weeks. So right now, May 15th is our target timeline. That's pretty firm, barring, like I said, any weather. But at this point, it's really more or less, here to answer you guys' questions, questions that you may have. I know I spoke to a few of you. It sounds like, quite a few of you may have already signed up. And we've had a couple of, people that have been interested in hearing more about it. So that's what we're here for now, to answer any questions that you may have, any specific questions regarding really any of the process, whether it be, pricing, product, or construction type based questions.
You said May 15th. What kind of frame you're looking at before you probably carry cover most of the year?
So usually, factoring in backlog, it would probably be before we actually, let's say May 15th is the day that we start. Anybody that has signed up pre-May 15th, it'll probably be anywhere from about, within 2 months, we'll probably have, everybody installed. And that's also factoring in, since you guys are lumped in with Old Vineyard and Brighton, that's also factoring in those guys in that timeline as well.
We're adding installation workers all the time, so we're adding them left and right. So, and then Jackson is getting bigger and bigger as well, so but we're adding more people.
So you're saying if you
Go ahead.
if you have it, May 15th is your day, then are you saying 2 months, May, June, July would be before you actually would have it operational in your home? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, so May 15th is when we turn the first customers on.
Oh, okay, so if you already signed up, then May 15th would be your...
That's going to be the date that whomever is the first person we sign up, that,
Right.
that's going to be the person, that on that particular date. In here, nobody in this particular room right now may be installed on May 15th. It may be June 15th before.
Yeah.
But more than likely, within 2 months, anybody that is signed up before that launch date,
Will be
will be activated.
And we'll begin calling to schedule installs before May 15th.
Yeah, so you'll receive emails, you'll receive flyers in the mail, you'll receive all kinds of information, phone calls from us. But basically, we'll have install numbers to call in. You'll just call into that number. If you haven't been reached, you can go ahead and set up your installation date.
You guys gonna bore to the house?
It depends on the landscape of the yard. So if there's a lot of cement, it's a very large driveway that's pretty inaccessible to, just trenching the cable in, then we will explore boring. But if it is a traditional yard that does have access via trenching, that will be the method we choose 100% of the time.
Okay. What about if you have a yard irrigation system? Do we need to let you know that, or do y'all?
We're able to repair irrigation systems, power utilities, anything on the spot. So basically what we'll do is we'll just mesh that back in with PVC, if we nick it on the spot. In the event that we don't actually notice that we do nick a utility, just let us know. We'll come back out, we'll get it repaired for you.
When you get your first time,
Yeah, and in the event that something like that happens, where your water bill does jump up like that or something, we'll work with you on that as well, so.
So if you pay for $10, that means you signed up, or you just?
No.
You signed up?
That means that you pre-registered. So if you paid the $10, that qualified your neighborhood. Since now we've met that quota, pre-registration, you don't have to worry about that anymore. This is actually picking out the services that you want and signing up for that service. The $10 essentially at this point doesn't mean anything since the neighborhood is qualified, but if you did pay that $10 and you sign up for service, you'll get that $10 back on your first bill. Anybody else?
I know y'all are heading towards the interstate, where are you connecting that for, maybe?
So we have main halls that go up 20, 55, I-20, 220. I mean, we've got main halls all over the place. We'll branch off of that, and then we'll have main halls up, every main street, pretty much throughout Clinton. This fiber also powers, now granted there's separate dedicated lines for our wireless, but this is also what powers our wireless service as well. But really where the infrastructure is being implemented is within the neighborhoods themselves, so we'll be going up and down every single street laying fiber there. So that's really what we're adding on to the network at this point.
What's the latest speed to the house?
It depends on whether or not you're using a wireless router or you're plugged in hardwire. The standard that we operate off of whenever we talk to customers is a hardwired connection because that's the most reliable number. So our average data speeds connected to a hardwire is anywhere between 980 megs per second to about 990 megs per second. Yeah, so, and to kind of touch on a little bit, like y'all were just talking about with the ringing doorbell, to kind of give you an idea of the benefits of C-Spire fiber. So those type of devices, they require an internet connection. So if you want to use those, what we call them smart devices, anytime that you use something like that, you're going to have to plug it in either to your Wi-Fi or you can hardwire it into your connection. There are different options. But whenever you use that, the faster your internet speeds are, the more reliable those services are going to be and the higher quality that they'll operate out of. So, if that's something that you're interested in and you're interested in making your home smarter with a Ring doorbell or various other smart apps that are out there, keep in mind that C-Spire Fiber is going to help increase, that device that you're purchasing.
Can you give a brief overview of the services that you're providing? I know some people still think it's just internet, so
Yeah,
just
sure.
while you have this audience.
Yeah, so we're offering 3 services. You can really pick and choose whichever way you want to kind of set those up. The only thing that's required is internet service. It's required in every single package that we offer. But we offer internet, TV, and home phone. The main questions really revolve around TV. Our internet is 1,000 megs per second. It's the fastest internet in America. And then the second would be home phone, which is going to be just your typical plain old television or telephone service. But our TV is with Super HD television service. You'll find that we have channel lineups back here if you're interested in picking those up and looking at the channel lineup in particular. Every channel we offer is in full HD. We're going to offer every channel you'll pretty much have with Comcast, DirecTV, AT&T. We'll have all of your HBOs, all of your primaries, your SEC networks, your ESPNs, your entertainment channels, ABC, your locals. You'll have all of that. You'll be hard pressed to find a channel that you won't have with Comcast or AT&T. Furthermore, to expand on that, we've got all of the features with the DVR, so you'll be able to DVR up to 6 shows at one time while watching 2 others. You'll have a 1 terabyte hard drive, so you'll be able to record about 450 hours of television shows, which is far too many for one human. And then also we'll have TV anywhere access, so you'll have a link and an application that you can log into and watch your TV service from anywhere in the world as long as you have an internet connection. So we've got really, really cool features. We've pretty much taken all the best features out in the field today and kind of all compounded them into our set-top box.
Do you have somebody who can speak in real simple terms?
real.
That says, this is where you turn it on?
Yeah, so we'll have a dedicated channel as well for our television service. So if you have any questions on your remote, how to work something, it's actually interactive and you can kind of go through there and give you a tutorial.
And the installers will walk you through everything as well.
I know, but they talk about as fast as he does.
Tell them slow down.
And then they go home. And then they go home.
Yeah.
We've got a landline, but we'll be able to keep our same telephone number. We've had this number for years.
Yeah.
You'll sign a letter of authorization for it.
Do you still have a box or something, and you have a box for, a different kind of box for each TV, and then if you get like an Apple TV, you have to have another little something else, so is it still?
Yeah, so the reason why that's done is that's really how we gauge kind of the metrics and stuff that are required by the government. That's how basically everything is decoded into your home. So without those boxes, you basically wouldn't be able to watch TV how it is now because everything is digital. It's not like old TV where you just had to plug in the cable and the TV came. Unfortunately, everything's kind of changed at this point, so the boxes are really required, or else it wouldn't work at all.
How does your engineering and the construction schedule go? Do you do the whole neighborhood before you begin to set anyone up, or do you do street by street?
Yeah, so whenever really right before the neighborhood qualifies, we do a pre-engineering phase, and that's where we map out how we're going to do all of the construction in the neighborhood. Anybody that signs up prior to the construction reaching their home, we will go ahead and run their fiber optic cable to their house at that time. So like if we're coming to your home and we're constructing, it's the first time we're laying any cable there, and you signed up for service, we'll go ahead and run that fiber line to your home since you've already signed up and you're going to get the service. Anybody that signs up after construction passes their home will come back after we're done with all of the construction in the neighborhood. So it'll probably be May 15th if you signed up and construction's already passed your home. We'll come back after May 15th and come back and wire your home and get everything else done. Any other questions? Well, we.
Can I tell them what I told you about the war on drugs?
Yeah.
One day Rosemary, I love this. Quinta Linden's posted a thing the other day, said she knows how to end the war on drugs. First, you legalize all drugs. Then you make people buy from Comcast customer service.